Hello and welcome to the show. Today we're going to test what we modified in last week's video. And no, I didn't get it all the way to 30 hours. I pulled it off about 12 or so because the inside of the smoker was covered in, moisture type stuff. And so I started thinking, I better get that off there because it started to actually mess a little bit with the master built smoker because there has so much buildup inside and it was kind of wet, and I didn't want to leave that overnight when I went nappy by. So anyway, see you in a little bit. Well, we're getting ready to go smoke us some meat with our new and improved smoker, and we're going to need this smoke generator because it's 62 degrees. Look what we got going on. Over to the fridge we go. Yeah, we're going to smoke these up. See how they do. Well, we just turned it on. I can only go 24 hours in this thing. Turned it on, and we got our smoke generator going. Let's see what we got. We are 62 degrees. And look, we are actually rolling smoke inside of, what time is it right? 90. It's not even up to temperature yet. 93 degrees Fahrenheit, 2353. So that's 6 minutes. So it's been running 6 minutes. And we'll see if we can get a little bit more smoke on these two. Oh, I neglected to show you. Let's open her up and look, see how the stuff's hanging. There we go. So it is generating us some smoke. And you see, because of the length and the new height here, we're taller. So we're just going to have to see how this goes experimentationally. Well, we are an hour in. Let's see. Let's go do a zoomer. What do you think? Are we producing more smoke now than we were before we modify it? Now, hopefully we won't melt anything electrical in there. It shouldn't be that hot. Alrighty, at 3.5 hours, this is what we had left. We probably could have gone 4, which is significantly better. Now, I had a piece not quite that big in there. It burned it down. You see it's gone. So we'll put the old down here in the bottom, and then we'll fill her up with Lowe's small chips. Comes in a bag. So here we are at the, 2024. So yeah, that's going to be 3.5 hours. We'll go ahead and take a look since I just reloaded that. We do look like we're picking up a little bit of color. You can tell because we're starting to brown our manila even a little bit more brown. Now look at that. It getting in the way, but we got to keep them tagged. And of course, this is a mahogany anyway. It's already red, but these were white right there. All right, see you in another 4 hours, maybe. I got it. You see, here's the tray for the heater for the chips, and you see this has been through 2 smokes so far. 10 hours, and this will be 13.5 hours, and it just doesn't get enough heat to make it actually smoke. All right, it is Christmas Eve day. We're working. Look at that. We got some coffee going out. Now, how do you know if you have the genuine Del Hollow coffee experience? Well, look right here. Thank you, Del Hollow Coffee Company. Small batch. Small batch. Thank you. Del Hollow Coffee Company, small batch. Thank you, Del Hollow. So that's how you know that you're getting the real thing. And just remember, if you can read this, your ship is listing. You should buy more coffee now. All right, we are 4 hours in. Look at this timer. It says 102 degrees. Now remember, our standard said we need to do this at minimum 100 degrees. And it is 1957. We just reloaded it. And that's not a commercial for Stovetop Fire Stop. 888-616-7976. But they do know a thing or two about smoking. But I don't think it's a good smoke like we got here. I think it's a safety issue. But look at it. We are smoking 30 minutes after we just reloaded it. We had to go upstairs, do some coffee.
If you like this content, please go to calldeltosell.com, find the tab that says on YouTube, click it, and it'll open up a page of QR codes. There you can use a smartphone to scan and get to the YouTube page, or you can just mouse over and click it on a PC. There you'll be able to subscribe to this little button over here and click the notification bell so that YouTube will notify you. Thank you.
Smoking 30 minutes after we just reloaded it. We had to go upstairs, do some coffee, get some coffee packaged up, and there we are. Well, let's take a look at the meat because I don't have one to show you. It is running, yes, above 100 degrees, and it is, what is that, 5 hours into it. Let's look. I hate letting my smoke out because we're smoking, but we'll take a look real quick. That smoke generator is smoking. All right, so here we are. We can tell we're picking up a little bit of heat, about to make my reading unreadable, but we've turned that brown, and of course this is mahogany to start with, so that's how we got. There we go. You see it smoking? There we go. Isn't that beautiful? All right. Now I think what I'm going to do is pull these, even though they're nice. They got good color on them now, but I'm about to lose my ability to read my tag, so I think I'm going to pull these out, the short ones out, in an hour. And I believe what I'm going to do is, because I'll be reloading the smoke generator, is put them in fishnet stockings and go from there. Now this is a sticky mess. Feels all sticky. Nice and done, but I don't know how it's doing on the inside. So I may take it out too, because at this time and this temperature, we should have enough for the transglutamase to have worked and put that sausage together. I'm a little hesitant to take it out of this little casing, but I think I'm going to do the coppas that way. Now this is when I pulled them part of the way through. I'm going to cut the casing off and put them in the stockings, put them back in there, and see if we can't get more meat penetration. I may lose my shaping that I'm trying to do with this round casing, but I can't read my tags if I don't do something with it. Now, if you're interested, I did take this out of the casing, and it was taking on some smoke, and it has gotten a bit of firmness, which means we're doing some good to it. Although we're not drying it, it is setting up. We got this one. I think I'll go ahead and do it the same way, because as you can see, it's going to be hard to read that. I may have to use an alternative light source on that to see if I can get that to read. But I'm going to put it in a fishnet. I think I'll leave the long ones like they are, not mess with them, and just do the 2 coppas, because most of my coppas are done in casings. I'll do this one in fishnet. Well, what do you think for getting that smoke on? We're only in it about 6 hours. We got a lot more to go at 100 degrees minimum. You can see the 2 on the right are the 2 new tags. The 2 on the left are the old tags, and you can't see the writing much. I can barely make it out. And of course the back side of it, that's the part that was toward the meat, blocking the meat. So I've netted them, and we're going to see what they do. Well, I've just loaded up. This is how we do it, how it's working so far. We load that up, and it's just got the heat up to this point where that plate is. So the heat comes up there, does a pretty good job, spreads. It is hot as a firecracker. And of course it's got to get 270 degrees or so for hickory to smoke like that. But we loaded it up. You see this big piece. This is some I've cut years ago. When I get a little healthier, I'm going to go up there and cut another fresh hickory down for this sort of thing. But we got her going there, and we're going to put the top on. And I probably won't change it out, although this will be dead by 9, I think. I may or may not load it up again. One of the things when you put your meat in stockings like that versus a casing is it is subject to being touched. Yes, it's going to drink a little more smoke in it, but since we were supposed to do it for, 30 hours? Max, well, that's what the standard says. I do the last one at 10. It turns out fine. We see it's actually beginning to catch below. So I'm going to have to put that top on. But yeah, it's exposed to the elements, so you can get a little mold spore and that kind of thing. So It's better to leave it in the casing. That's why I prefer casings. But for the video and for demonstration, yeah, I want to try this one, smoke it with just the stockings on. And yeah, we better get her back in there. Well, I think I tacked this in at the end of the video. This is 3 weeks in. It's the 17th of January 26th. And this is Christmas Eve, so that's about 3 weeks. But I want to point something out. Now look at this. We've been busy, and I'm running an orange light now that I am running my little humidifier. And here's the problem. It's just been a while since I went to the store, and I'm using tap water instead of the distilled water. And believe it or not, this little dude here can see the difference. Now it will clean up and go back to green after a while, but right now we're pumping water in. Now let me show you something else it did. This one, see, it's got a little bit of a bow to it. It was kind of it was over here in this front position. So it was kind of in this airstream. This fan and the humidifier are together. So when the humidifier comes on, this just causes it to stir the air. So I think this one was getting just a little bit too much moisture blown on it. And I could probably turn this away a little bit more. I'm just trying to keep the air stirred. Let's see what our humidity level is. 77.1. Hey, we're just almost there. So that's what they look like, and if you'll notice, that one that was right there isn't anymore. That's the first one. It got pretty well much eaten at 4 months. Well, that's that. So I hope you liked the show. I hope it was useful to you. I'm not advocating doing any of this stuff. It's just a hobby. I do like it. My meat's dried like this, curing the old world way with, of course, new world techniques to make sure we don't get parasites or spoilage. A lot of spoilage. I do use a little bit more of the modern government approved method. So, all right. Click like and subscribe, if you will, to the channel on which you see this video. And if you like good coffee, see if you can buy a bag. Remember, we sell them by the pound, not by the half pound or 12-ounce bag. So it may look a little bit more expensive. You can always go Ground Super Saver, and that may help you a little bit on the shipping price. All right, we will see you later. Thank you for watching.